So, in this week's deep dive, I wanted to interview you and have you interview me about what we're going to be talking about at the local U Advance this coming Friday in New Orleans. For those of you who aren't aware, we've been talking about it for a number of months, but on October 20th, the night of October 20th, we're having a networking event, and then all day on the 21st, we'll be doing local U Advance. And local U Advance is always a fun event for me. The networking, last local U Advance, two people came to me and said they were looking for jobs. Two people came to me and said, we're looking for people. I put them together. It's like no higher art form than that for me in this industry. I just love being able to match those kinds of people. So great networking environment, but more importantly, just state-of-the-art local information. So what is your topic going to be, Mary?
I'm going to talk about how small businesses, the things that they can do to try to compete against big brands. One of the main ways that I believe that they can compete is on reviews, because with reviews, sometimes everyone involved in the organization is held responsible for every bad review that the big brand has gotten everywhere. They might want to criticize a Sears, for example, and it ends up on my local Sears's website when it's really about Sears's credit card or something that this local operator has nothing to do with. So if you can find things that people tend to complain about against a certain brand, you can really look in their reviews to mine that information and then counteract that information with your free ads in the organic listings, with your paid ads, even with what you say on your homepage of your website, that you don't do whatever it is that they hate that this big brand is doing. And what's your
before I talk about mine, let me ask you another question. So we have four guest speakers, and these are four people who I just dearly love and respect in the industry. David Deering on schema, Darren Shaw who's doing enterprise citation, Cindy Crum, who's talking about being more than ready for the mobile revolution, what it means, how you should do it, and Joy Hawkins talking about issues and realities of Google My Business, Possum, and all the other recent changes in Google. So I'm curious, of those, if you had to pick a favorite, which one are you going to pay particular attention to?
Oh, gee, that's really hard, because I listened to Bill Slawski at PubCon talking about schema and how schema helps you become an entity and be recognized as an entity, and that once you are recognized as an entity, how that helps the search engines put all your web stuff together, your social stuff, the people that are part of your organization. So I feel like I'm really dumb about schema and that there's a lot there for me to learn. So I definitely want to go to that one. But, all of these people are in my opinion, the number one thought leaders in the subjects as they're talking about. So I'm hoping I don't have to miss any of them.
Yeah, you might be working during David's.
I know.
Don't know, but we'll see.
But we are recording all of our sessions.
We are recording, and to get access to them, you just have to. We will have a special rate, and you can join the forum. So the rate plus the forum membership for 1 month will get you access to these videos. So you asked me, what am I going to be talking about? Let me show you this screen if I can. Let's see. No, hang on 1 second while I get this screen shared. Let me just see if this shares it.
Okay. While Mike is messing around with his computer, he did a little interview with Cindy Crum as kind of a preview as to what she's going to be talking about at Local U, and it was really interesting. One of the things she was talking about was progressive apps and how those are going to work for us. And apparently, from what I understand, the way these progressive apps work is that once somebody goes to your website, they will just automatically be taken into the app that you've created on your website, and they're not going to have to download your app and keep it on their machine. So this is something that I'm also very interested in.
So can you now see my chart, which I finally figured out how to share in Skype?
I do.
Okay, so this chart is once again my favorite pet SEO client, local marketing, Barbara Oliver. And this increase you see, 628, right here, we're seeing a big increase, and then another big increase, and then this dip, and then a decrease. So what you're seeing here is months of Barbara doing nothing other than me getting her the occasional link from an SEO friend, right? And then on 628, we're seeing big jumps all the way up to 720 across this deep chasm. The deep chasm is when their new designer that created the new website neglected to tell me that one, they were changing the domain, and two, that they forgot to put Google Analytics onto the site. Slapped that designer upside of the head, got that fixed, and then this big dip right here, not big, moderate dip, that's possum, right? And then the increase after. So this increase and this increase, which are done totally through social media, I'm not going to sort of give away the punchline here. We're done through semantic information on social media. Confirm for me that words might be the new links, that relevance is an incredibly important thing. And I go into a deep dive as to how this happened and how somebody else can make it happen. So I don't want to give away my punchline, but I'm hoping somebody will come and join me. But if they can't, like you said, well, it'll be a video and they can see it in the. So it's called the Professor's Laboratory, and this is the number 2 session. We had previous Professor's Laboratory in Williamsburg, where I talked about the impact of Yelp reviews on local rank, and this will be talking about the impact of social on rank. So that's what I'm going to be talking about.
And who of the 4 guest speakers we have are you most interested in hearing?
Well, David, I looked at David's talk, and he's pretty far in the weeds. I mean, in terms of tactical advice. So that one is actually my least favorite because I get schema at a big level, and whenever I need schema done, I hire David to do it. That's simple. Outsource it, right?
Right.
So that leaves Joy, Darren, and Cindy. I'm going to be working with Joy in one of the sessions in the workshop, so that's exciting. And Joy always has great insights into tactical GMB issues, so that'll be interesting. You know, I love dealing with big questions and big strategy, and Cindy Crumb's doing that. And, you know, Darren is such a great presenter, and citation work is something near and dear to my heart for years. So, you know, I'm not gonna pick between those 3, other than to say I'm not going to David's. You can go and tell me what happened.
Okay.
How's that?
And one thing I would like to mention is if you've never been to a local U or a local U advanced, I don't think people realize that they get the opportunity to go into a small group workshop with people like Mike Blumenthal and Joy Hawkins and a Google rep, Google My Business rep. Willis Duvall is our rep right now, and ask their questions and talk about their particular problems and try to get help with issues that they're having with Google My Business. And there have been countless times when our Google rep has been able to fix something before somebody even left the event. So in my opinion, that in itself can pay for your ticket to New Orleans if you can get your Google My Business problems resolved.
So, and it's not just a small group with me and Joy and Google. Joel Headley, sort of speaker emeritus, is going to be there. He's also from Google. He focuses on Google Assistant now. He used to be in Google Local, but so he's very knowledgeable in terms of the relationships that companies need to get into Google Assistant. Obviously, Mary's going to be there and be in a small group. Darren's going to be. We're all going to be in small groups. But on top of us, we have several great sponsors, right? We have a very rigorous sponsor routine. It's almost impossible to become a sponsor of Local U. Local U is a cooperative, and to become a sponsor, a supermajority of our members have to say that I would use the product, right? And so this event is being sponsored by CallRail, White Spark, and Bright Local. And these are products that we all voted on and said we would all use them. They're going to have people there too. So you'll be able to talk in very great detail with Mark Sullivan, who's very knowledgeable about using call tracking in local environments. You'll be able to talk with Bright Local about citations, and you'll be able to talk with Darren about all sorts of things, including Scotch. He's very knowledgeable about Scotch. So I'm looking forward to it. It's my favorite event of the year. In fact, it's the one event that I have my talk for done early so I can continue to tweak it and refine it. It's already in the folder, believe that. And with that, I always want to say one last thing. If you're listening this far and you think you might want to come, I'm going to create a discount code as soon as we get off the air. It's last minute, all one word, all lowercase, and you'll get additional $50 off if you're bringing one, and you'll get, I think, $100 off if you're bringing 3 or more. So join us in New Orleans for a great time Thursday evening and Friday, and then, hey, spend the weekend in New Orleans taking a break from all the intense learning you've done. So with that, we will say goodbye. And if you're curious about how that chart on your left or my left, your right, I'm not sure where it is on the screen, gets created, stop by and you'll get your money's worth. Thank you again.
We'll see you in New Orleans. Bye.